Cold War Slides by Inthorpe, Max Pinola, and Ryan Patterson.
During World War II, China had two leaders, Communist leader Mao Zedong and Nationalist leader Chiang Kai-shek. Both of them worked together to defeat Japan. After Japan's surrender, the leaders began to believe that there's only room for one leader in China. The United States rooted for Chiang, although Chiang was known as a corrupt and unsuccessful. Ultimately, in 1949, Mao was victorious. Kai-shek was fled from China to Taiwan to prevent being executed or imprisoned by China. This disappointed the US because it would not have a new powerful anti-communist ally. Americans accused President Truman for losing China. US Secretary of State Dean Acheson defended Truman by saying nothing this country did or could have done within reasonable limits of its capabilities. Next, there was a fear of Soviet Union and China would form an alliance, which would pose a large threat for US and other NATO countries. But there was hope. Japan refused to become allies with Communist China and became allies with the United States. In the end, Japan became an economical powerhouse.
The United States adopted a stern policy towards China. When Mao formed the People's Republic of China in 1949, the United States refused to recognize the new state. Instead, it continued to refer to the nationalists in Taiwan as China's legitimate government. The United States also cut off all trade with China and opposed its admission to the United Nations. The U.S. government meant for these steps to contain China by isolating it from the world community. Not all American officials favored this tough policy. However, some felt that improving U.S. relations with China might weaken China's ties to the Soviet Union. But U.S. officials faced strong pressure from the Congress and the public to treat China as an enemy. The United States did not resume formal relations with China until 1979.
North Korea had a pro-Soviet communist government, while South Korea had an anti-communist government. This raised tensions between the two parts of Korea. North Korean troops attacked South Korea in order to unite Korea under communist control, but U.S. forces helped South Korea to repel North Korea. The United States turned to the United Nations for help, and the United Nations helps South Korea to help make a unified, independent, and democratic Korea. When United Nations forces reach near China's border, China reacts by sending thousands of troops streaming into Korea, and they help North Korea repel the United Nations in South Korea. MacArthur wanted to bomb China for helping Korea, but President Truman didn't want him to, so MacArthur got fired. The final 2 years of the Korean War was a deadlock, and each side of Korea signed an armistice and set up a demilitarized zone on the 38th parallel.